American police force. He explained to the crowd that the APF, now he being Al Peterson, who's the vice president of TRA, consists of retired and ex-police/military personnel, including ex-SEALs, Rangers, etc., who have been trained and have experience in everything from airline/cruise ship security to hostage negotiations. The APF chose Hardin because they are impressed with the community. They have been in Hardin for the last 9 months, and the community has welcomed them and treated them well. Okay, in the contract signed, it says the APF will only house low to medium security inmates, and only the chief of police, the United States government, Montana Department of Corrections, and the state, local, county, and federal jurisdictions will be allowed to place only properly classified inmates in the facility. The city will be able to house between 30 to 60 inmates at their detention center. The APF will also permit the city to use the courtroom and office space for city court at no cost. The APF are required to maintain all appropriate certifications and insurances necessary, and they'll take care of all of that. Al stated that the only money APF would be making will be from inmate phone calls and stuff like that.
Oh, please.
They will be paying TRA $5 per inmate per day, as well as all taxes, etc. APF will pay any deficiency to trust starting February 1st, 2010, regardless of whether they have inmates or not. They will pay the money to TRA, then TRA will make the payments. The contract also mentions that the APF want to build a $16 to $17 million law enforcement center at their cost. Al stated that the center would contain a state-of-the-art forensics lab, a training center, a 248-bed dormitory, and much more. The facility would be built on the same property right behind the detention center, and there is property there. We saw it. The contract also states that APF will shop in the community first for the things they need before heading out of town. APF wants to help them become a part of this community, and they're willing to send a police officer with food to the houses of people who are not able to get out and about. How nice. They are also willing...
Mona, hold back.
Yeah.
Get a pen. I'm going to give you the fax number right now. You tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, it is 866-894-1767. Do you have that?
Got it.
All right, Mona, I'm going to let you go.
Right
Please, yes, please fax that right over, and we'll be doing Prison Planet and InfoWar stories ASAP. We're going to get that to Kurt Nemo and Paul Watson. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Ryan in Canada. Ryan, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
All right.
Awesome. I'm glad to be with you. I just found some information about 2 weeks ago. I thought it might be interesting to call and let you know. The RCMP in Canada have actually been, this is coming from someone who's a member of the clergy, the police in Canada have been preparing for a pandemic, and apparently they've known about it for a very long time. They've been going through training. They've had conferences in Ottawa all about the pandemic and how they're going to handle it. I mean, it's a bit weird, don't you think, that they're planning everything?
Well, you know, they've talked about using schools. I mean, not even talked about. They've said they're going to use schools as mass vaccination centers, but they're not going to stop there. They figure that community centers and churches are another way to get mass gatherings of people in to take these vaccinations. So it doesn't really shock me that they would use the clergy, as we know about the clergy response teams for a couple of years now, that will be working with departments like the Department of Homeland Security here in this country. So it really isn't a shock to me. Are they saying that they may use this as a mass vaccination center somewhere where they may offer the vaccine?
I haven't really gotten a whole lot of information on it, but I am still trying to talk to the minister that was involved in this. And
well, you got to be careful, because a lot of these ministers and a lot of these priests and a lot of these clergymen are now on government payrolls, and they're there to tell you to love the government, do whatever they say. They're here to help, when we know it is the exact opposite. Keep doing your research and let me know as it develops. Thank you so much, Ryan. Let's jump to Stuart in New York. Stuart, you're on the line.
Pleased to talk with you, Jason. I'm just wondering, and considering how vicious the Pittsburgh police attacked so many innocent people, and in regards to what's going on in Montana with non-citizens, I'm just wondering, they're wearing these Darth Vader suits, not for their own personal protection physically, but more to disguise their identities. I'm just wondering, how many of these so-called police were really American citizens?
Well, I would say the majority of them were, in actuality, American citizens. I didn't see a lot of foreigners out there, but I did see a lot of blurring of the lines, whether or not they were National Guard or not. Let me give you an example. The first riot police I saw were wearing regular riot police tops and uniforms, but they were wearing military fatigues on the bottom. When I went to the big concert out there for Al Gore and global warming, they took it a step further. They were in full military garb, in riot suits with the backwards American flag in a green patch, and they had no police identification whatsoever. And then that really prepped me for the next day when I outwardly saw just military. I mean, they were in full military garb, admittedly National Guard. I did see a lot of foreign security forces. In other words, people in suits acting as Secret Service type agents in the hotels and downtown area. But, this time they were able to use American citizens, and a lot of these National Guardsmen said, I'll defend your right to free speech every day, while they're in riot gear on the streets, shooting tear gas at people. And with that said, we're going to go to that video of the young people at the college, if we can bring that up, Jaron and Hooge, of the incident at Pittsburgh on Friday night when these kids are on a balcony, when the cops start shooting off rubber bullets, they start shooting off the tear gas canisters, and they actually go into the building and up the stairs onto this balcony and corner all these kids that are now being tear gassed. So let's go to that video, then we're going to continue with your calls, Michael, Scott, Dan, Scott, and Gary, right after this. So let's hit that clip right now. And I mean, you're really looking at something like out of a science fiction movie. All these protesters are mostly college students. There are no anarchists amongst them, not one anarchist. And there you see the flashes. There you see the tear gas canisters. You hear the rubber bullets going off right now. You're watching it on prisonplanet.tv. One of the protesters throws one back at them, but it's a moot point. They're all wearing gas masks. Here's where it gets really, really scary. The kids that are on the balcony, they think they're safe. They're not. Tear gas to come up the stairwells. Yes, they're inside.
Are we trapped here?
And here they are being tear gassed as the riot police pass them up the stairwell and corner them. It's just unbelievable. We're going to pull the clip because there is some obscenities that come up later on that we have not edited out, but the full clip is available at infowars.com and prisonplanet.tv. And a young girl, I don't know whether or not she gets pulled, she gets hit by a rubber bullet, but she gets hit by something and her neck begins to bleed up by her ear. This is just unbelievable. This is, again, folks, the new America, the new tyranny. Jackboot thugs ruling over us, stopping us from assembling peaceably. The founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves. They wouldn't, you know what? They wouldn't be rolling over in their graves. They would be getting their muskets and saying, that's enough. We've had it. These people stood up for taxation without representation because they were being taxed too much by the king. Do you think we're being taxed too much when they start to say, yeah, a carbon tax is a good idea? Yeah, one-child policies are a good idea. Salon.com publishing articles saying that contraception curbs global warming. Basically telling you don't have children or you're screwing the planet. That's what we're here for. We're here to procreate. We're here to expand our family. We're here to love one another. We're not here to say, no, you can't have children. No, you can't have a family. Yes, the state is your God. Big Brother loves you. That's not why we're here. We're here to flourish as humanity, not to stop one another from experiencing life, from experiencing love, from being in fear all the time, so we start sucking our thumbs in a fetal position, letting the state walk all over us, letting the establishment have their way with us. We're going to come back with more calls. Alex Jones coming up. It is the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Bermas sitting in. PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.